Hi, Raiders. It's me, Mrs. Swanson. I apologize if my sound doesn't match my video. I'm not sure what's going on there. I left you off yesterday with a chapter from Shelf Life here. We read the first 11 pages. We ended you on page 42 with our character, Georgie, really struggling with a decision. She's just gotten terrible news come to her from Earth about her grandmother. Now, just a reminder, right now would be a great time to make sure that you have your Post-it. We call this thought trackers. Your Post-it should have been handed back out to you at this point, but we're going to continue to stop periodically while we're reading for you to add information to your Post-it. We will be the ones ending this story. We might not get there today, but we'll get there by the end of the week. So this comes back out. We'll stop about every 2 pages. We will pause the video and then give you a chance to do a little thought tracking. We left you off on page 42. Could you get to the bottom of that one right now? So when are we going back? I say. We're not, my mom says. What are you talking about? We can't just leave Nana alone. Nana's my father's mother, and he's an only child. We're all she has. Honey, my mom says, we talked with the doctors. The cancer's already spread to her lymph nodes. She only has 5 months to live. We'll never make it back in time. She'll die before we get there. You don't know that for sure. You're just guessing, I say. My dad, ever the compassionate scientist, says, statistically speaking, there's only 5% chance that Nana would survive more than 5 months. Especially given her complications. I mean, this is how they talk? Well, I don't care. I'm going. You can't go, my mom says. Your last calcium test came back and here she takes a deep breath. And it seems you've lost over 30% of your bone density. So what? I'll drink a lot of milk, okay? Actually, I hate milk, especially the powdered kind we have here on Mars, but I'll do anything to get back to Nana. You don't understand, Georgiana, my father says. You've lost 30% of your bone mass. No one knows what the effect will have when you get back on Earth. Your legs could shatter from the gravity, and you may never walk again. You could be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, my mother adds helpfully. But I say, my voice now wavering, didn't you know about this before you brought me here? My parents cast a sidelong glance at each other, and it's clear that neither one of these brilliant scientists thought this one through. So how am I ever going to leave Mars? I whisper. My dad, Mr. Mars himself, just looks at me and says quizzically, why would you ever want to leave? Like Nana always says, just because you have brains doesn't mean you have sense. I'm sitting at the table in the mess hall eating breakfast and generally trying to avoid everyone. It's gotten around that I tried to buy a beer last night, and I'm getting a lot of condensing warnings about the perils of alcohol. I want to say that I think a sip of beer is hardly the most life-threatening thing, considering I just found out all my bones are going to melt if I ever go back to Earth. Hey, Brat. I look up and I see Buddy standing there holding a tray. Buddy's 21.